and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Good afternoon, Cayman. Welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I'll be your guest host here and Talk Today on Mondays and Wednesdays going forward for a little while at least. We'll see what happens. Stay with me. We're going to be talking about the Emancipation Day holiday coming up.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Yes, it's Talk Today, and it took me about 30, maybe 35 years to circle back around to Broadcasting House, where it all started here as far as broadcasting for me. And I can't believe that we still have that old More Questions Than Answers song playing, though. I mean, that's going back some ways. We're going to have to freshen that up, I think, a little bit. But we'll see. I think that was not Doran Miller's song?
From his time, yeah.
Yeah.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
One way of looking at it. But maybe, I would say there's probably somebody out there now saying, who Doran Miller is? But obviously you know Doran Miller, right?
Yes,
He was
yes.
like the original talk show host for Radio Cayman and the whole Cayman Islands, really. So here we are carrying on the standard for Doran, keeping the talk going. And we will be having a holiday coming up in May. This year, Emancipation Day is observed on Monday, May 5th, but they have a whole bunch of events going beyond May 5th. And this is only the second time since the celebration kind of faded out, and we're going to see why that happened, or try to find out why Emancipation Day was stopped and then it started again. In the studio with me right now is the head of Heritage, Tunisia Barnes, and we'll probably be joined by someone else from the ministry in a little while. Ms. Barnes, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
It's a pleasure being here for sure.
Now, Emancipation Day, May 5th, but it looks like you have a program that goes way beyond
Yes,
May
we
5th.
do. So similar to last year, we're also starting with the Cayman Day, or 345 Day, which is going to be on the 2nd, which is a Friday. And we're inviting everyone to wear their Cayman colors, red, white, and blue, as well as our Caymanian Proud t-shirts that the ministry sells. And we would love to have people wear their color and just represent Cayman and be really proud of who they are. At 9 o'clock, we'll be taking a photo on the government admin steps. So if anyone's in the area, please take a photo, or in your workplaces and schools, please take a photo there and tag us on our ministry social pages, because we'd love to see everyone really representing Cayman and being proud of who we are. This Saturday, we're really proud to be partnering with Badabanu to be one of the sponsors for Children's Badabanu, because normally when you look at Emancipation Day around the Caribbean and the world, is usually a celebration for people. So we're really pleased to join on board with the Badabanu crew to have that integrated into part of our celebrations this year. Because we are a Christian community, Sunday we're going to go to church. This year we're going to be going to the Webster Memorial Church in the first capital of the Cayman Islands, Bordentown, at 11 a.m.
So we're back to the roots.
To the roots, right back to where everything started. So we invite people to come to church with us that day, as we, give thanks and celebrate, Emancipation Day as well. Monday will be the main celebration downtown. Similar to what we did last year, we're going to have the free catboat rides. We're going to have different events, vendors. It's going to be a big celebration downtown.
Now, what is going to be the opening of an Emancipation Centre?
Yes, actually, that's where I'm coming from this morning. So we also have an Emancipation Centre. So last year, the Cayman Islands Museum partnered with us, and we opened an exhibit. This year, we've decided to expand that a little bit more and create a permanent exhibit because we've had such positive reviews from the community as well as visitors who want to learn more about slavery in the Cayman Islands and emancipation as well. So that's going to be located in the old Pirates Week office upstairs by KFC. So that's going to be opening that day as well, and it's going to be free to the public. So we invite people to come out that day, get a chance to look at that exhibit, and be a part of the activities that we're going to have out town.
But that's a great place to put it too, because that building is like original Georgetown.
It is. That whole little section there hasn't changed a lot. Yeah.
But it sounds like you're trying to make this holiday something more than a day to go to the beach or something.
Well, it is, and it also talks about a bit of our history as well, of how certain members of our community got here. Last year was a very interesting time for us in terms of educating the public. Some people were not aware of us having slaves here in the Cayman Islands. And so, through extensive research with the archives as well as the Jamaica archives and the British one as well, we were able to find that we did actually have slaves here, and we have records of it, that over 900 persons were in fact slaves and they were freed. So again, it's about educating people. People who know me might know in a previous life I was a teacher. So I still think of myself as teaching, but on a wider scale.
Once a teacher, always a teacher.
Always a teacher, right? So we're teaching people about that. It's about a part of our history, explaining how some people came to Cayman. So that is really important for us to explain that and talk about it and expand it. So we also have a speaker series, which will be taking place on a Thursday, which actually is that question as well, where do we go from here? Because it wasn't on our holiday list for 62 years. So now that we've brought it back last year, where do we go from here? How do we celebrate it? One of the things that I'm always saying at work is that we can't allow someone else's trauma to become Cayman's trauma. We had a completely different track. We developed differently. So how do we celebrate our unique passage and our unique right into our emancipation? So it's very important that we, decide how we want to do that moving forward.
We do have a caller on the line.
Oh.
So let's see what's on their mind.
Okay.
Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Challo. How are you?
I am fine.
Mr. Challo, do you remember every Monday morning? Good afternoon to the young lady there.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, but Mr. Glidden, it is so great to hear your voice again. And I'm not going to tell you who I am, but you can call me after the show. But every Monday morning, you would play the numbers game.
I remember that one, yeah.
And I still have the 45. And it is still...
Did you write the song?
Yeah, I did. You know that.
Yeah, okay.
and it is on the computer there at Radio Cayman as well. So I'm hiring you right now, but with no payment. Remember, you said you're going to be on for a while on Wednesdays or so.
Monday and Wednesday, yes.
Yep. So, there's a referendum coming around for.
Well, we'll talk about that.
So you're going to use that song for the national lottery.
Okay.
Still on Radio Cayman, but it's so nice to hear your voice, sir.
Thank you.
And God bless you, sir.
Thank you for calling. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So see, everyone remembers you. As I came in, I'm like, it's Uncle Chalo from Saturday mornings.
All right. So, and Let's continue on about the schedule that you have, because it looks quite extensive.
Yeah. So in addition to the speaker series, we cannot leave out Cayman Brac. So we will be traveling to the Brac on the weekend of the 10th through the 11th, having a family day at the Cayman Brac watering place, as well as, again, going to church there as well at the Hillside Baptist Church in Cayman Brac as well. So we're including them with the events similar to what we did last year as well. So the idea, is to get as many people out celebrating our history and using these opportunities to introduce new generation of young people into things that make Cayman unique through, traditional Cayman games, gigs, thatch, rope making, etc. So there's going to be lots of different activities at all of our events, and so we invite the public out to come to them. All our events are free. Food will be on sale, but to attend the event, it will be free for people to attend.
All right. I think that's a good point to pause, because we do have to go to a little commercial break here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo footlong cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points, or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo footlong cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
And now a paid political message from the Progressives.
The time has come, Cayman. The PPM is ready to share our vision, to show you that we are the proven stable choice for our islands. PPM Manifesto launch this Saturday, April 5th, Compass Green, 7 p.m. Bring your family and your friends to an evening of connection, information, and leadership that you can trust. Cayman's future is in our hands. Now let's move forward together.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. I'm Charles Glidden. I'm talking to Tunisia Barnes. She's the head of Heritage in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. And we're hearing about the plans for the upcoming Emancipation Day celebration in May. And I think we've gotten down to the Cayman Brac service, and it was something, a competition that you said?
Yes, we'll also be having art competition for students. So we're going to have a poster competition and well as a poetry competition as well. So that'll be sent out to the schools this week, and we invite young people to enter them as well.
Now, you mentioned something a while ago that kind of threw me back here, that you're saying that there are people in Cayman who didn't or don't realize, don't know that there were enslaved people in Cayman?
When the subject was broached, there were some people who found that that part of our history has been missing or hasn't been elaborated on, particularly from, within school books. We've not done a really good job of explaining that. So it has, I guess, come to the point that some people question whether or not that was relevant in terms of our trajectory, how we came to Cayman and how everything came to be. So this once and for all, through extensive research shows that we did have, in fact, slaves here in Cayman. Yeah. And one of the things that, what makes us as well different from the Caribbean is most other people celebrate their Emancipation Day in August, whereas we celebrate ours in May. And through research, we found out that Cayman was quite different in that our slaves were, they were given their emancipation, their freedom before everybody else. They weren't registered like other jurisdictions. And because of that, they were, we had someone come over, Governor Sligo from Jamaica came over, and he pretty much read a declaration that made all of our slaves here free immediately, and that took place in May. So this year, in conjunction with the National Trust, they will be reenacting that and reading the proclamation at Fort George. So, they've come on board with that. And that's one of the great things. We had such great response last year from the public as well as other entities. So the National Trust reached out and they said, hey, you guys did such a great job. We want to be involved with this. How can we come out? How can we help tell the Cayman story and incorporate Fort George as well? So we're really excited to have them on board. They'll be having that taking place on the Monday. So there'll be opportunities for families to go down there, watch it being reenacted by the Cayman Islands National Trust, ask them some more questions about it, as well also exposing Fort George. Because a lot of times we drive across there and we take it for granted. It's by the street light. We know it's there, but do we really understand the importance that that played in Cayman history? So I'm really excited to have them on board and for them to take part as well.
Okay. So this holiday is actually very important to national identity.
It is.
Because if you're saying that Caymanians had not realized that they were the descendants of people who were enslaved, or descendants of slave owners. And that gives you a sense of some kind of identity, knowing your history.
It does. And so that also leads to this year's theme, which is unity, strengthening our legacy. So to your point, and I always reflect on one of my favorite lines from Pedro, the exhibit that they have there, is the line of the master and the blood of the slave runs through me. And I think for a lot of people in Cayman, we come from very mixed families. That's what makes Cayman unique in who we are. That we're a very diverse community, and we're becoming more diverse by the day. So, how do we embrace our unity? How do we embrace our similarities rather than focusing on our differences? So this year our theme is unity, strengthening our legacy, because our legacy in Cayman is the fact that we're united, that we come from such a diverse mixed background. So that is this year's theme, and we're really excited about that and really promoting it and saying, this is how one group of our population came to Cayman.
But I mentioned in the open that we used to celebrate Emancipation Day.
Yes.
50 years ago or so?
62 years.
62 years?
Yes.
So what happened that it stopped?
Well, that has been the million-dollar question, hasn't it? So in doing research, we found out that in 1962, along when Jamaica got their independence, I think it was 62, correct me if I'm wrong, that Jamaica as well as Cayman decided to not include it on their upcoming list of holidays for the following year. Now, we looked at the Hansard, and there's not a lot of details going into what happened that day, but we do know that in one sitting that it was taken off and replaced with Discovery Day, and it's been off from then until 2024. So we can surmise and say, well, perhaps they replaced it with this or that, but very few people there. There's nothing in the Hansard that really details what happened. So we're just happy to have it back on board through, again, a lot of extensive researching, lobbying the government. We went to them and they said, hey, we would like to include this back on our list of holidays because it's really important to, as you said, Cayman's identity. The ministry's been doing quite a bit of work on that, in identifying our national dish, our national dress, dance, drink, etc. So we just thought that this was a natural progression in explaining how a certain segment of our population came here, as well as celebrating who we are as Caymanians and our uniqueness in being one of the first countries in the region to really get our emancipation.
Now, if you want to get in on this conversation, here are some telephone numbers. We have a 800 number, compliments of Flow, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 8037 949 6990, or you can WhatsApp us. If you don't want to talk, you can send us a message, and WhatsApp number is 925 3261. We're talking about Emancipation Day coming up in May. And what else can people expect besides the general schedule that you've run down for us?
Well, they can expect, to learn about Cayman's culture, to really have that sense of identity, national pride. Also, we're really pleased to be opening up Hogstye Bay as well. We've liaised with the Port Authority to have people able to jump out there that day. Hogstye Bay is, again, a vital part of our culture and our heritage. For me, I'm a Georgetowner. I remember visions of driving across Shetton Road there in the Sunday afternoons with young people jumping out onto Hogstye Bay. So once again, this year we've opened that up. That is going to allow people to participate in that, because normally that part of Georgetown is locked off and you're not able to swim there. So that will be included in this year's scheduled events as well, that people can go out there, participate in the Hogstye Bay area, as well as participate in the free boats from the Cat Boat Club as well.
Originally, I thought that we're going to take Discovery Day off the calendar, and it was just going to be Emancipation Day. But what was the decision there?
I'm not sure what the decision was or what the thinking was, but it was decided to keep both holidays. So I think we're going to have Emancipation Day on the 5th and then Discovery Day on the 19th. So it was decided to keep the two of them on. So
we couldn't leave out Discovery Day, right?
No, I guess we have to explain how we were founded. Someone discovered us.
Yeah. Well, what I always find about Discovery Day was like he didn't even stop. Two islands in the distance, lots of turtles.
Lots of turtles.
Let's keep moving. Maybe he could have stopped to Columbus. He's stopped to see if there maybe some water on those two islands or something, but no, he just kept on going.
Yeah, so there's a lot of turtles, Las Tortugas, and kept on going.
Are you looking for people to get involved in this?
Yes, we're always looking volunteers. So I would say to call our ministry at 244-2424 if you're interested in helping out. As well as I think we're still looking for a few vendors as well. So if you have a traditional Cayman craft and you would like to have a booth, reach out to us as well, because the more people, the merrier, and we'd love to have a lot of people, out there on that day as well.
Okay. Music?
Of course, we're going to have music. Yes, we're confirming that. So I don't want to speak, but we're going to have our usual list of lineup, as well as maybe a few surprises as well. So there's going to be, lots of fun. Last year, we had Swanky playing out there, as well as, schools, different dance groups as well. So we can anticipate having all of those people out there as well.
And this must be very important for young people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to give them that sense of history.
It is, and what I find is that young people, perhaps because they're going off to university now and they're seeing, other jurisdictions celebrating this, they have been some of the main people behind asking, why is this not celebrated in Cayman? Why is this not included? Did we have it? So there's a lot of dialogue taking place at different areas and different sectors in the community. So for young people coming up, again, it gives them a sense of identity, who they are, and also lets them know that, hey, this did exist in Cayman. So I had a young person come to me and say, well, why are we not celebrating June 19th? Because that's a big thing in the U.S. June, yeah. And I was like, because Juneteenth is an American holiday, and it celebrates when the last American slaves were emancipated in Texas. So again, how does that fit into Cayman? And explain to people again, just because it happened someplace else and it's celebrated there, it doesn't really fit in the Cayman context. So by giving people information of how it took place in Cayman and how it developed, it gives them, again, a sense of identity, lets them know, and it works a little bit more in Cayman culture and our heritage as well.
Because you were saying earlier that our emancipation was even different than what it was in the rest of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Right.
So everyone else, like I said, most other jurisdictions celebrated on August 1st. We celebrate ours, obviously, on May 5th, which goes back to when our slaves were freed. So a Governor Sligo coming over from Jamaica at that time and saying, the Cayman slaves aren't registered. We need to get this sorted out quickly. So they came over, they read it, and they said, as of this moment. So that's another unique trajectory in terms of Cayman slavery as well. other jurisdictions had to undertake apprenticeship for several years. We didn't go through that period. So in doing research, it looks like Cayman and Bermuda did not go through a period of internship or apprenticeship. So again, that's very unique for Cayman, and a lot of times we don't celebrate what makes us unique. So we're doing a lot of research, we're finding out these things, and we're getting it out there, we're documenting it a bit more and putting it out to the public so that a whole new generation, as well as, you know, Caymanians such as ourselves who are getting a little bit older, can have a sense of who we are and a bit of pride of, you know, what it is to be Caymanian, how we came to be.
Yeah, and that apprenticeship was really slavery by another name, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, there was no reward. I was reading something about Sligo when he made that proclamation, and he was some enslaved people just grouped under a tree, I think it said.
Yeah.
And he told them, now you have no one to give you food, no one to give you medicine, no one to give you shelter. You're on your own. It was like,
as of this
you
moment,
got your freedom now.
Yeah, literally
try to deal with it.
Yeah.
And he told them to show appreciation for being freed.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, I guess that was the mentality
at the time
of the time. But looking back, it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
How they should be so full of gratitude for being made free.
Yeah. So it is quite interesting. So as we've been researching and diving into it more, we're discovering bits and pieces like that about our history. So it's quite interesting, and we're excited to bring that to the public and to start to teach people a bit more about our culture, a bit more about our heritage, and explaining things and how it came to be. And because it's been such an amazing journey over the last 3 to 4 years, just coming to working in it, researching it, finding out about Emancipation Day, and also, advocating to get it put back on our calendar. And last year, just to see the overwhelming success, the number of people who came out town on the waterfront, I think by that evening, I ended up standing up at Breezes for a little bit and looking down and seeing, thousands of people out there celebrating Cayman, celebrating who we are. It was such an immense moment of pride for me, and I really hope that people show up again this year like that, because it was such an amazing, amazing moment in Cayman heritage and culture that day. It really was. I was so proud of everyone being out there. The team has been working so hard in it. It is just, it's definitely one of those things that we look forward to putting on, and we look forward to presenting it to the community again this year.
We're going to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
And now a paid political message from the Progressives.
Hi, this is Delmira Bodden, PPM candidate for East End. Please join me at Miss Lucille Rankin's yard on Wednesday, April 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Come out and hear the issues that matter to you. The solutions we are ready to deliver. Cayman needs proven, stable leadership. That's exactly what PPM is about. Let's keep moving forward with the PPM.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from the inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Yes, what's on your mind? If you want to tell us about that, you can give us a call. We have a 1-800 number, 1-800-534-8255, compliments of Flow. Or you can give us a call also on 949-6990. You can WhatsApp us on 925-3261. And we're here talking to Tunisia Barnes about the Emancipation Day celebration that will be in May. And apparently this has been quite an eye-opener for a lot of people in Cayman. Do you think there was, it almost seems like that part of our history, like we were touching on earlier, sort of, to me, it almost is like it was being swept under the rug.
That question has come up quite a bit. And again, putting on my teacher hat and being a social studies teacher for a long time here in Cayman and also helping write the social studies curriculum, we have kind of brushed over it quite a bit. We haven't really delved that much into it. And in fact, that goes for all of Cayman culture and our heritage as well. So how can we do a better job as that, as a community, as a ministry? And so we're really pleased to be exploring this and putting it back out there and teaching people about our part of our heritage and culture that really might not have been delved into quite a bit. So again, we're teaching people about it, we're learning about it, we're exploring, and we're rediscovering what it is to be Caymanian as well. Because in doing it, we've discovered quite a few things, again, the uniqueness in our date rather than it doing August. Because in the beginning, we thought, okay, it's going to be August 1st, we're just going to go with that. But when we started doing research and digging, we said, but wait, there's something really unique about Cayman here, that our emancipation actually took place in May, not August like the rest of the region. Let us use that date to celebrate the uniqueness of Cayman. So it's a really great way for us to say, well, Cayman, we're unique. These are the things that make us special of who we are. And so now we're explaining it to the public. We're letting people know. And through last year's event as well as this one, and hopefully going on as well, it gives people an opportunity to say, hey, this is what makes Cayman unique as well. This is something we can be really proud of, that we were one of the first in the region to gain our emancipation. So we're very pleased to be doing that with the public.
Now, I know this is not the ministry, the concerns of your ministry, or maybe it is, but you are a teacher. Is that being corrected in the schools now? Are young kids that are in school, are they learning about the full picture of our history now?
Well, we're working in conjunction with the Department of Education as well to produce a book on emancipation. So that book will also be coming out the same time as well. Last year, we did a book on our national heroes, and we were able to present copies of that to every single school in the Cayman Islands and Cayman Brac as well. So this year, the idea is to have our emancipation book printed at the same time that once again we can go to every school in the country and give them a copy of the book that explains Emancipation Day and how it took place in Cayman and that whole journey. So bit by bit, we're reintroducing these topics to Cayman and ensuring that, what happened before where we didn't really talk about it that much. Because depending on how you approach it, it is a very sensitive topic. And we've been very respectful in how we reintroduce it to Cayman as well. Because, it's no way that you can really dance around it. It happened in the past. It is what it is, and it explains a lot, in terms of how people came here in Cayman. But at the same time, it allows us to celebrate being one of the first in the region. It allows us to celebrate the fact that despite our differences, we still come together, and our unity is our strength. So we decide to look at that side and focus on the positive moving forward and saying, what? Hey, Cayman is unique. We're one of the first in the region to gain our emancipation, as well as let us look at that and introduce these books as part of our book series to a whole new generation. That we won't have that gap like how we did for the last few years where people weren't taught about it and it was kind of forgotten from one generation to the next. Because I did have people come to me and say, Tunisia, I did not know that we had slaves in Cayman. And, people be like, I thought it was, the ultimate Caymanian. I knew everything about Cayman, but I didn't know that we had slaves.
That's incredible.
Yeah, even though we have slave walls around Cayman.
Yeah. Where did they come from?
Yeah. So, yeah. So again, we're doing our best. We're working with Education Department. These books will be coming out in the next few weeks as well. So excited to be sharing that with a whole new generation of young people in the schools and putting it as online as well for the public as well.
But do you find, as I do, that there's young people these days, young Caymanians, there's this yearning. Mm-hmm. They want the identity. They're there pushing at the forefront for Caymanian identity.
They are, and what we've done in Cayman, we come from a history of really great storytellers, but we haven't done a really good job in documenting it for future generations. So when you take things like, thatching, cassava cake making, a lot of that is a dying art form. And, it might have been passed from one generation to the next, but have we really documented that? Have we preserved that future generations can see, well, this is how it's done? So bit by bit, the ministry has been producing things such as our National Treasures, which is a video series that we do. The latest one is with the Miles brothers, Mr. Bunny Miles and Mr. Edlin Miles. So we've done that. We've done Miss Tit Tit as well, Mr. Geralo. So we're recording these people that understand the Caymanian craft, and we're preserving it because you are correct. We do have young people who are interested in this. They want to learn it. They want to keep these traditions alive. Last year, when I was placed at the Cayman Islands National Museum, we were running workshops there. We had thatch workshops at least once a quarter, and they were very popular with our young people because people do want to know, they do want to keep this craft alive. And, how do we do that? How do we document it? And so there is this yearning, and, we hear you, and so we're trying to meet that need. Our ministry did not exist 4 years ago. So ministry, we're the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage. Normally they were attached to bigger ministries, but now that we were placed together, we've been able to focus a bit more on these smaller subject areas. And so we've put out a lot of things, like I said, the National Treasures. We've been documenting a bit more. So we hear it and we understand it, and we've been trying to push things such as that and Emancipation Day and talking a bit more about our heritage and documenting it and explaining it to the public. Yeah.
And with the development that has happened, even since COVID,
Mm-hmm.
this place is exploded, I think. And I was just looking at a stat the other day that we are now 40% of the population. It's really easy for identity to get lost.
It is, and it also gives us an opportunity as well to say that persons who've decided to become Caymanians, well, what is it to be a Caymanian? So, we always talk about coming from a very, seafaring history. People who might be good at geography will recognize that my name is actually a country in Africa. My father, like many men of his generation, went to sea. Tunisia was one of the countries he went to. He decided to name me after it. But how do we honor that seafaring past? How do we honor the Caymanian resilience? Many of us were here during Ivan, and we saw the devastation that took place and the resilience of the Caymanians afterwards to build up this country. So that's what it is to be a Caymanian. You have to be resilient. You have to be able to also, go with the licks and the blows. And, that's one of the things that makes us really unique. So although, yes, you were correct, we do have a lot of people who've decided to become Caymanian. Having events such as Emancipation Day explains to them and it incorporates our culture and it says, you know what, now that you've decided to become Caymanian, here's a part of who we are. Here's how we came to be. And so it gives them an opportunity to come out and learn as well. So we invite them, new people, Caymanians, multi-generational Caymanians, to come out to this event, to learn about it, to participate, and also to enjoy some good old-fashioned swanky, some turtle, because, again, it can't be a Cayman event if we don't have food. And we're going to have lots of food there on the day as well. Traditional fun food like, turtle, conch, wilts, all of the above.
So May 5th, mark that on your calendars, folks. Big day, celebrating Cayman history. Tunisia Barnes, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about the upcoming plans.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Or the
being
plans
here.
for the upcoming event,
Yes.
rather.
Yes. So I just want to go over those events because it's quite
Real
a few
quick.
events. So Friday, it's the 3-4-5 day, dressed in your Cayman colors, red, white, and blue. Saturday is Junior Badabanu. Sunday is the church service at Webster Memorial in Bordentown. Monday is the Emancipation Day celebrations outtown. Thursday is the speaker series. The weekend, we're taking it to Cayman Brac on Saturday the 10th, as well as church in Cayman Brac on Sunday the 11th of May.
Sounds like a great time and an important time. It's time for the news right now. Don't go away, though. We're going to be hearing about Loyola University on the other side of the news break.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. Cayman Connection announces the launch of the annual Making Waves Awards global program, celebrating Caymanians making significant contributions around the world. The nomination period opens on the 1st of April and closes on the 9th of May. Winners will be announced at the Making Waves Awards ceremony on Grand Cayman on the 31st of July. You can find out more on how to nominate at caymanconnection.org. In international headlines, protesters against billionaire Elon Musk's purge of the U.S. government under President Donald Trump demonstrated outside Tesla dealerships throughout the U.S. and in some cities in Europe Saturday in the latest attempt to dent the fortune of the world's richest man. The protesters were trying to escalate a movement targeting Tesla dealerships and vehicles in opposition to Musk's role as the head of the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, where he has gained access to sensitive data and shuttered entire agencies as he attempts to slash government spending. State media says the death toll in last week's massive earthquake in Myanmar has passed 2,000 now. The UN warning the 7.7 magnitude quake could exacerbate hunger and disease outbreaks in a country that was already one of the world's most challenging places for humanitarian organizations to operate because of civil war. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Although very similar to their Grand Cayman counterparts, organized religion in the sister islands was spearheaded by the work of Baptist ministers as opposed to Presbyterian missionaries who started the churches nearly 40 years after that in Grand Cayman. In May of 1885, Reverend J.H. Sobey, minister of the Second Baptist Church of Montego Bay, visited Cayman Brac at the invitation of the Brac seamen. During his visit, Reverend Sobey held the first service in a large house, and it was so overcrowded that the following day a tent had to be erected to have the service. In 1886, Reverend Sobey returned to Cayman Brac with Secretary of the Jamaica Baptist Missionary Society, Reverend E.J. Hewitt, in order to introduce Reverend H.W. Rutty as the Brac missionary worker. Congregations started at various settlements with the construction of 2 chapels in Stake Bay and the Creek. The progress would continue, and 6 months later, Reverend Rutty was ordained as a permanent missionary, and more congregations were formed in Westin, Sport Bay on the east end of the island, and South Harbor in Little Cayman. Reverend Rutty's son and grandson would go on to become Cayman Brac's collector and Chief Justice of the Peace.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon once again. My name is Charles Glidden, and I have in the studio with me for our segment, second segment, some folks from the Loyola University, New Orleans, and they're going to be talking about educational opportunities and a very important development that happened just this morning in the studio. To tell us more about that is the president of Loyola University in New Orleans, Dr. Xavier Cole, and he has had a distinguished career in higher education. Also, Kayla Mejia. She is the director of admissions, and we also have Dr. Bobby Sabwa, Dean of the College of Business. Folks, good morning. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good morning.
Now, you told me when you came in, a very important development happened just this morning between Loyola University and our own UCCI. Tell us about it.
Well, absolutely. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the invitation. We've been working on a partnership with UCCI for several months to think about how we can increase access and affordability for Canadian students to take their earned credits here and transfer them into our programs into Loyola and in New Orleans. And we met with the leadership, academic leadership this morning. We had wonderful conversations around the partnership and our aligned missions and how we could think about how we could just work better together in partnership to provide educational opportunities for Canadians, but also increase for our own students and faculty back in New Orleans. So we look forward to this relationship. And Dr. Sabwa was actually on the front end of this conversation. I'd love for him to weigh in on how he feels it's gone as well.
Yes, please.
We started talking first about business and what's being taught here in UCCI and what we're teaching at Loyola, similarities and differences, and some things that are not available at UCCI that we can offer at Loyola. And the idea was to come up with an agreement that would be beneficial to both universities so that we can exchange students, but also so that we could help students who might get an associate degree and accept those credits into the College of Business at Loyola. So we did a full analysis of the associate degrees at UCCI and identified which of those we could accept credits from And as it turns out, we can accept most of the credits for most of the associate degrees into our College of Business and then add in the second 2 years so that they will get a bachelor's degree as opposed to an associate degree.
So seeing that you can accept most of those credits, I would think that speaks very highly of UCCI.
Yes, as it turns out, many of the courses that they're teaching are A-level courses, so we can accept the A-level courses, and they fit within our core of our College of Business. Then we can add in the specifics, and we do, as a College of Business, we've embraced AI and making that not just part of what we do every day, but part of how we teach our students so that when they become graduates, they know how to use that in business and how to use that in their careers. So yes, it speaks highly of what UCCI is doing now and the type of partnership we could put together that would help our students as well as theirs.
So when would you expect to get the first students from UCCI applying to Loyola?
If I had my choice, that would be the fall of this year. And we actually, I've been working very closely with them. That is a possibility because we analyzed all of the different degree programs and know how we can accept those. We could accept people as early as the fall of 25. Sometimes in academia, things move a bit more slowly than in business. And I came out of business, so I'm used to moving things a bit more quickly. But Dr. Peter Paul, and I have talked extensively about how we can make this happen.
So, for Director of Admissions, what would you say to students who might have their eye on coming to Loyola? What do they have to do to be accepted?
Yes, so for students who are interested in coming to Loyola, we accept, of course, whether they're coming in first years or in this case, maybe transferring in. So for the most part, all we're going to require, they can apply through the Common App, which we're really proud to say is completely free for our students. So it's very accessible for them to apply. And then once they start the application, they finish that, the only documents we are going to require are going to be, of course, their transcript. Or whether it's, if they're transferring, we're going to need their college transcript. If they're freshmen, we're going to need their high school transcript. Once we have that information and we get their letter of recommendation, personal statement, we're able to go ahead and look at their application, go over it, and release them a decision.
Now, this is a Jesuit educational institution?
Yes, Jesuit Catholic.
Tell us what that means. What distinguishes that school from others?
It means everything to me. Our Jesuit Catholic charism means that we are not just preparing our students intellectually, but we're thinking about it in all three phases, holistically, mind, body, and spirit. And so we talk to them about what their values are. We think about their spirituality and their faith and how this rounds them out as an intellectual person. But also when we train them to think about ethical leadership, we train them to think about moral decision making. So when they become leaders after completing their degree, and sometimes before, and they are in positions whether this is just about making money or is this just about supporting the flourishing of the person that is outside of themselves, they think about the person first, and all good things flow from that. And that's our gospel that guides that, and that's our Catholic charism that guides that. And we believe that our mission and values are very much in line with UCCI as well. We talked this morning with Dr. Livingston Smith about that alignment, which I think will make our partnership stronger.
Now, I know some faith-based universities that you're connected to a church or as such, the faith plays a major role. I mean, but this is not just for Catholics.
No. Catholic actually means universal, and so okay. we're radically we have radical hospitality. Well, we like to say all are welcome. We are open to all. So our campus is extremely diverse, which is, again, why we think that this partnership will work very well. New Orleans and Grand Cayman also very similar climates, very similar folkways, where New Orleans, I think, is known as the northernmost capital of the Caribbean. We've heard. And so we like those partnerships that are historical, that we think that Caymanians can do well. in our space, and it's also easy access coming down through Miami to get here and back. So there are lots of things that we think are great, but we are open to all. And Jesuits, since we've started teaching, and we have done that for hundreds of years, have always been open to all, but really serving those who had least ability to afford an education and providing access to a life-changing education.
Tell us a little bit about the Jesuits.
Yes.
I mean, when I would hear the name, I would think priest, but
right.
It goes beyond
yes.
the clergy?
The Jesuits are priests, but Jesuits' vocation have always been teaching, which means that they weren't cloistered. They were out and of the world, which is what makes them different. So the apostolates for Catholics who are Jesuit are really about forming schools in all levels, from preschool to K-12, lower levels, and also in the higher and further education. So that has been our mark. That is how we basically increase God's presence through our teaching and values, and that's what makes us particularly unique. But we've been around for quite a while around the globe, but since the 1850s and a little bit earlier in the United States. So that is the thing we do well. We're part of a Jesuit network of U.S. schools, but also global Jesuit schools. But schools such as Georgetown and Boston College, those are all part of our Jesuit network.
Oh, okay. And what about the other Loyola universities that I see online?
Yeah.
Is that part of that network?
Absolutely, and that's a fun little story. Loyola is part of one of four Jesuit schools, and it's named after Ignatius Loyola, our founder. And so there's a Jesuit school in the north, the south, the east, and the west. Loyola Chicago in the north, Loyola New Orleans in the south, Loyola Maryland in the east, and Loyola Marymount in the west. So they're the signature schools of the Jesuit network. We're one of the four signature schools.
What's campus life like at Loyola, New Orleans?
Yes.
Outside of Mardi Gras.
I think Dr. Cole said it pretty perfectly. It is such a diverse place to be. The city itself is diverse, but then you see that also reflected in the school. And it's so beautiful to be in a space where you can see everyone intermingling and getting to know each other, and also accepting each other for who they are. And like those Jesuit values that we were talking about, you see that every day, not just in the teachings or in school. Because of course, if you're going to you want to study business, how do you be an ethical business person? If you want to be a lawyer, how are you an ethical lawyer and using your voice to stand up? So you see it, of course, in the classroom, but outside the classroom, you see all the time, whether our students are organizing their own community service, they're working, off hours, nothing for credit. They are helping their friends, or they're helping the community. They're speaking up, going to these events. And so I think it is very outspoken, but I think it comes from a good place. And so I think it's a place where everyone can find their own community there inside of a larger community as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'd say also that Loyola is known for teaching and mentoring. And that's something we do well. So we like to believe that we create a very strong community of belonging at Loyola, and that's why our students do well. And we know that this is a very strong and tight community down here. And so I think that knowing that a child would be, going so far away from home, will be known and cared for, and people will look out for the best interests. And one of our Canadian alumni was saying, growing up here, that he could be disciplined anywhere around the island by anyone who knew his family. That could also
when
happen
you get
at
home,
Loyola.
Your parents discipline you again.
Yeah, that's right. And so it's very much that feel that we care for the person. That's part of care for the person. Actually, cure personalis is one of our mottos, and you feel that. And so we think there's a good match with the island culture and how it would translate into New Orleans on our little campus in uptown New Orleans.
Well, you just mentioned Caymanian alumni, and I was going to ask you, have Caymanians attended Loyola?
Oh, absolutely. We were just spent the evening with Winston Connolly and several of his friends. Stacy Vanderveld also was there, and they talked very well of just the pipeline of students. One after the other would go to Loyola back in the 90s and have a very good experience, and that would get back to Grand Cayman, and others would go person after person. But we found that there was a gap in that pipeline. which is why we are intentionally here, because one, our graduates have done so well, that they're clearly educated well. They came with good core skills from here, from their families, but we think that we amplified that, and they've returned home to be leaders in their community. We want to reopen that pipeline. So this partnership with UCCI and other partnerships that will form over time will be very important for us. We're here because our time could be spent anywhere, but we're choosing to spend our time here and to build this relationship we think could be fruitful for both sides.
Now, I'm sure you know the importance of the financial industry in Cayman. I mean, it's
Right.
the driving force, really, of our economy. The courses that people can study at Loyola will prepare them to come back and be part of that financial industry.
Oh, absolutely. We have within our finance degree, we have a student-managed investment fund of $1 million, real money. That's not play money. And the professor who manages that invests the majority of it so that it continues to spin off money for scholarships. But the students actually take courses. We have a Bloomberg lab with the ticker that goes around the top, and the students each semester will study the different companies that they think they may want to invest in and actually make real dollar investments and either make a gain or a loss. And sometimes we'll hold on to that past one semester. Sometimes we'll sell it within a semester. But it's to teach students how to truly evaluate the financials and the future of a business, given whatever the economic situations happen to be.
So banking is part of those curriculum also?
We always have bankers come in and speak, and banking is a part of that. We actually just finished the New Orleans Entrepreneurship Week, which is a very large event that we co-produced and hosted on our campus, and J.P. Morgan Chase was one of our main sponsors, sponsored the main stage, and we had a number of bankers come in and talk about the importance of what the students had to learn in order to be in the financial industry.
All right, sounds like a good place to get a solid foundation.
Yes.
Are any of your scholarships available to Caymanian students?
I think we would have scholarships available based upon their academic performance, and I can certainly I'll tip it to Kayla to be the expert in this particular area.
Yes, so students are eligible for scholarships. Actually, about 99% of our students will receive scholarships based on their academics and their merit and what they submit in their application. And then furthermore, because we are a private institution, we are also able to give institutional aid to these families coming in from Cayman Islands as well.
All right, so they would just apply directly to you?
Yes, they would just apply directly through the Common App to us, and then once we have all the information possible, they receive a decision, and then they'll be looked at for scholarships. So it is definitely manageable for people to come and study here.
And we believe that there is support from the government for Caymanians studying out of country as well.
Yeah.
And that can also be a true supplement. And we think the combination of those things could make this opportunity affordable, and not only just the on-campus residential experience that we could have, where Bobby's been talking about maybe graduate experiences with MBA programs and thinking about how do we bring further education into the frame. And we also have an online offering in our city college. So if there are workforce needs for full-time working Caymanians, there's also an opportunity to study with us online.
That's a new way of being educated these days. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's doing it.
Yeah. I had a good visit, not this past time that I was here, but a few months ago with Chris Kirkconnell, who's an alum, and he's actually on my visiting committee for the College of Business, talking about the types of things that we could do in order to give a return on investment, a good return on investment to the students and parents, because that's really what a lot of people are looking for now. What is a return? when they become graduates, what is the return that they're going to get for the money that they've spent to get that education? So I have my faculty and staff focused on creating graduates that are going to be sought after because of their problem-solving skills, their critical thinking skills, their ability to communicate, their ability to use AI and whatever the latest tools are to help the companies they go to work for and the customers of the companies they go to work for. And I mentioned New Orleans Entrepreneurship Week. It's similar to some things that are done here on a smaller scale, and we hope to be able to work with, in fact, Charlie Kirkconnell took me through Enterprise Cayman, and then there are a lot of similarities that we can learn from what's being done here and vice versa.
We do have a phone call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hello.
Hello. You're on the air.
Good to hear you, Jello.
Well, thank you very much.
Anyway, in the conversation, the one before this, in the other segment, excellent. I'm glad to know that maybe there's a little bit of more emphasis being put on CI heritage and culture, but talking about Loyola and nuance, I noticed you got the nuance right there.
Nolans. So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure how familiar your group there is with the connections. Over the many years between New Orleans and the Cayman Islands.
All those guys going in on ships, huh?
Seafarers.
Well, yes. New Orleans was one of the biggest shipping ports, I guess, on the Gulf. Yes, Gulf. For many years, and probably still is a lot of shipping going on there. But they were headquarters for Standard Fruit and United Fruit, which was one of the biggest fruit companies importing fruit into the U.S. for a long time, and especially leading up to after World War, after the the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor, it was a bevy of shipping down there, and Caymanians was all over the place down there.
Well, a lot of them took up residence there, right?
How was that?
I said a lot of Caymanians took up residence.
Yes, and there's still a lot of Caymanians down there, on the outskirts in La Paix and all these other places, and it's a great connection, I think, and and believe it or not, there's probably more Loyola alumni here in around Cayman than people realize.
Really?
We hope so.
Yes. No, because a lot of those Caymanians who lived around New Orleans, and there was a lot of Caymanian families. Their children went to Loyola University, and so. But it's good to hear you, Mike. You got a lot of work ahead of you.
Well, thank you.
So.
I'm a native of South Louisiana, and so hence I can pronounce New Orleans like I do.
New Orleans.
But I do in our cooking in South Louisiana. There's a huge Caribbean influence on the spices and the way we go about cooking, and there are many Caymanians who have taken up residency in New Orleans and have made that their home. And as the caller mentioned, there are quite a few alumni here. I want to say 4 members of the Kirkconnell family.
Do you have a number? Anybody have a number of that?
I know that it is at least 10, but I don't know exactly how many. We need to work on figuring out exactly what that number is, but we allowed that to lapse for a while, which is why President Cole and our Vice President of Enrollment Management and myself have been making a few trips down here to rebuild those relationships.
All right, but I didn't realize that until that caller that we had such a long relationship. I mean, this is not something that just popped up, I guess.
No, this is something that Loyola is becoming more engaged and much more aware of our history and how that can influence our future. And we need more partnerships. We can't flourish into the future by ourselves. We don't plan to. And just even today, the conversations we had at UCCI with their leadership, their academic leadership, we were very excited about the possibilities. We realized that UCCI does not grant bachelors of science in any way, shape, or form. We have multiple science degrees that prepare for these students to be in STEM and further that could come through Loyola. And so this Associate's 2 bachelor's program and just straight bachelor's program could be very beneficial for Grand Cayman, but also for Loyola. We need this partnership in order for us to flourish well into the future. This one and others like it. But this one seems to be much more personal. We have real connections here that are over the long durée, and we're always looking to build brand new ones as we discover what Grand Cayman is today and not just what it was in its history.
How big a representation, international representation you have at Loyola?
Oh, we do pretty. Do you have a better number?
I don't have a percentage. Do you happen to know?
I do not have a percentage of
Yeah,
international
but
students.
I can tell you that you walk across campus at Loyola, and it is a melting pot of people from all over the world. And even though it is a Jesuit Catholic institution, we have many Muslim students, many Jewish students. People, we've always attracted a lot of people from South America and Central America, because New Orleans was always a access point to those areas, and a lot of people from the Caribbean. And so besides that, we have numerous partnerships with universities in Europe. There's actually a Loyola Andalusia outside of Seville, Spain, that we have an exchange program with, that I just visited them last year. And we offer a triple master's program where you, with Schema in Paris and LMU in Germany, and the students that go through that get an MBA from Loyola, a master's in science from Schema, and a master's in science from LMU. So we're very, very diverse in the population. In fact, I feel lost because I don't speak Spanish, and there's so many students that do.
And we do have a department that supports international students and their flourishing on campus, that has a director and associate director, and we have internships and a good inflow and outflow. We also send students abroad as well at a pretty even clip to make sure our students have experiences that really broaden them. One of the stories I love to tell about international education and why it's so important is that our students may be in New Orleans, may be in the United States, and not use public access systems and not ride a bus or rail, and they go to Europe and they get on trains and they go to museums and they explore these cities, and they really walk in solidarity with the people. And then when they come home, they realize that they've been underutilizing their experience at home, and they then traverse our city and United States cities in the same way. It's essential for the broadening of an education of a person to be able to get out of their context to understand their own. And I know that's been my experience with international education when I studied abroad in Ireland and when I did service trips in Nicaragua back when I was in graduate school for my doctoral program. It was essential for my broadening of my education.
Well, we're coming down to the end of our segment here, and if anyone is interested in attending Loyola, how best should they go about making first contact?
Yes, so I would say an easy way for them to make first contact, they can go ahead, of course, go on our website, or if they want to email someone just to talk to someone directly and have that one-on-one relationship, they can email admit, ADMIT, at loyno.edu to get more information.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here on Talk today. Been quite an interesting, even a little history lesson, I guess.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, well, enjoy the rest of your stay in Cayman.
We will.
We will.
Thank you.
More Talk today coming up. Stay with us.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
The 6:15 Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden, and I guess this is sort of an open mic segment. Just me, all by my lonesome. Just Paul over there. And you can give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind, what you want to complain about, who you want to congratulate. You can give us a call on a toll-free number. Compliments of Flow, 1-800-534-8255, or you can also call us on 949-6990, 949-8037, or if you don't want to talk, you just want to send us a message, you can do the old WhatsApp thing, WhatsApp number 925-3261. Well, next month, we're going to be having a big month. Today's the last day of March, so what do we got? 30 days to go. We're all going to go out and do our duty, right? We're all going to go out and vote, choose our representatives in Parliament, and of course, out of that will emerge a new government. So we going to have a lot of action coming up through the month of April here, and I noticed some gloves have been coming off recently, and some of the things I've been hearing, some of the candidates actually taking some jabs at each other. So things are beginning to heat up, and this is a very interesting year indeed. we thought the last election was different, but this one, wow. Anything could happen, I think. The mathematical possibilities are very, very, very interesting, yes. Including the fact that in spite of the three parties, independents could still end up playing a significant, if not a crucial role in forming the new government. And there certainly isn't a shortage of candidates and parties to choose from. 58 candidates and 3 parties. Yeah. What do we got? We got PPM, Cayman Islands National Party. We have TCCP, the Caymanian Community Party. And we got a lot of independents. When you look at the numbers here, PPM has 13 candidates, CINP 12, TCCP got 10, but there are 23 independents, and some of them are incumbents. So independents probably going to play a big part in this. How it looks here, I mean, PPM probably has the best numbers as far as actually forming a government outright. They have 3 to give. They only need 10. CINP, the National Party, got 12. And the Caymanian Community Party have 10. They would have to really make a solid play out there if they're going to do it all on their own. But with 23 independents, you know, and if they score 5, 6 people, they're going to play a major part. And of course, besides electing members to Parliament, we're going to be able to give our opinion on a referendum in 3 different issues. Should we build a cruise ship here? That's getting a lot of action, a lot of play. Should we decriminalize ganja? And should we have a national lottery? You know, the numbers game. Paul, have you got that queued up? A lot of the issues in this election, they're not new. They seem to have been dragging along for some time now, like the landfill. People talking about we got to do something about the landfill. That's been going on for quite a while. You remember back in 2010, 2011, they were looking to move the landfill to Bodden Town. That didn't work out too well. There was a lot of controversy about that. People said, no. Everybody wanted to do something about the landfill, but, you know, nobody wanted it in their backyard. Now it is in in people's backyard now. And even the national lottery thing, that was considered back around 2010 in that administration too. Cost of living, that's always on the table. And immigration reform, that's being mentioned a lot. That's been being mentioned a lot. But that seems to have always been on the table also. But this time it seems to be much more intense. Healthcare, health insurance, cost of health insurance, the cost of just medical care in general. And of course, pensions, that's something that needs to be looked at also. So what are you thinking about these things? I would certainly like to hear about it, because we do have a caller, so let's go straight to the lines. Good afternoon.
Good Good afternoon, Charlo. This is OC. I just wanted to call and congratulate you and welcome you to the team. It's good to hear your voice.
Well, thank you so much, OC. Thanks.
Yeah, that was an interesting discussion with the representatives from Loyola as well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know there was so much of a connection.
Yeah, that surprised me.
That because and when we call that the New Orleans Cayman connection is a well-established thing to begin with.
Yep, it is. I believe, if I recall correctly, the devil, Mr. Ivan Farrington, may have been involved there as well as a diver or something like that. I remember him telling me a story, something to that effect, that he went to interview for a job and they asked him if he knew anything about diving. And of course, he's going to put a hilarious spin to it as well.
Always with him.
Yes. What was interesting with that discussion with Loyola would be, now that we see that the Trump administration has taken a different approach towards institutions of higher learning, basically universities and stuff like that. I wonder how they felt about whether or not that would be sort of a disincentivize people from wanting to apply because of what they're seeing that had been happening to some of those, foreign students over there now when they exercise their First Amendment right.
Well, that's an interesting thing. I mean, because as far as I know, yeah, even though you may just be on a student visa, you're still protected by the laws of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I was seeing a report where a young lady, just because she was expressing herself and was actively involved, she just got picked up. She came out of her house one day. That's, I don't know. It's different times.
Precisely. Yes. Yeah.
When these things start to happen, sometimes people who are not even really involved can get swept up in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's I guess you would just have to keep your head low if you're a foreign student and not really get involved.
Yep, that is so true. Did you ask him any questions about athletic scholarships as well? I believe you did.
Well, I asked about scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say anything about athletic scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
But I was from what they said, if they have the scholarships, they would be open to awarding them to Caymanian students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know you have to go to a commercial break now, so I'm going to again say, welcome on board, and looking forward to, sitting with you, around the mic as well.
Thank you for the call.
All right, take care.
Looking forward to the relationship.
Certainly. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, OC's watching the clock from wherever he is, and he knows the breaks more naturally than I do. So we'll be right back after this.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo Footlong Cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points. Or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo Footlong Cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
And now a paid political message from the Progressives.
Hi, this is Delmira Bodden, PPM candidate for East End. Please join me at Miss Lucille Rankin's yard on Wednesday, April 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Come out and hear the issues that matter to you. The solutions we are ready to deliver. Cayman needs proven, stable leadership. That's exactly what PPM is about. Let's keep moving forward with the PPM.
We're moving forward, baby. We're moving forward.
The nation listens. The candidates speak. Subway presents the General Election Debates live in studio on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM and 93.9 in the Sister Islands every Monday and select Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. 2 sessions. One powerful discussion. With Election Day fast approaching, hear what the candidates have to say on the cost of living, housing and development, economic growth, sustainability, education, transport, tourism, immigration, and more. Who has the vision? Who has the plan? Hear it all unfold live, unfiltered, and on the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM and 93.9. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Visit Radio Cayman's social media pages for debate details. Brought to you in part by Cayman Enterprise City.
Also brought to you by Reflections, UCCI, and Yum.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. It's open mic style for the rest of the show. You can give us a call at the toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. That's all compliments of Flow, or 949-6990, or WhatsApp 925-3261. Leave us a message and we'll pass it along. You can call to complain about something, compliment something, make a general statement. Give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind. Before we went to the break, I've been going over some of the things that's before us in the upcoming election, and one of them is a referendum on 3 issues. And a great place to go is to the Elections Office website. They have a lot of information there. For instance, on this thing with the referendum, they have some explanations of each thing. Do you support the introduction of a national lottery in the Cayman Islands? The national lottery, of course, would be run by the government, with participants buy tickets for a chance to win money. And the legislation, the process of making the national lottery legal, allowed under specific conditions. This does not apply to any other form of gambling. And I think we have a phone call. Is that we do? So let's take that call now. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Boy, who can say that that's not a Cayman voice then? Something is wrong with them.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
That is definitely Caymanian. Charles, how are you?
I'm doing okay. What's up?
Doing a pretty good job for your first day.
A little rusty.
Yeah, but you'll get the hang of it. You were speaking about the government there earlier. And, you know, I used to get so excited years ago when I used to hear that, you know, we're having a new government. You know, and then I think, you know what, I can hardly wait for things to get better and change in this country. But, you know, over the last 20, 30 years, I have come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter who you put in there is not going to make a difference for what is happening in this country. And it's really sad because, I mean, I'm not the only person who is experiencing what is happening in this country. But
We're kind of losing you there.
Sorry?
Yeah, we were kind of losing you there.
As a Caymanian, Charles, I don't like what is happening in this country, and it doesn't matter who we elect. It seems like they only get in there for one thing. They make you a lot of promises, and that is as far as it goes. As soon as they get there and they come back the next 4 years with the same foolishness over again, and we keep picking it up and eating it and electing them. But you can't blame nobody else. We are the ones to blame for it. You can't blame them. Things that call themselves politicians. They're not a politician as far as I'm concerned.
Do you have any hope? There's a lot of fresh faces out there. Do you have any hope that some of these young people that you see stepping up will make a difference?
Absolutely not, because like I said earlier, Charles, as soon as they get in there, they're going to do the same thing because the head guy is going to brainwash them, and they're going to say, look, this is what we need to do. And they're not going to tell them, well, I know what you promised your constituents, your people, but, you know, it all got changed now. And they're going to go down that same road time after time after time. So I've had enough. I'm not supporting it anymore.
You're not going to vote?
Absolutely not, because I am responsible for what they're doing, and I am not supporting it anymore. And that is how I feel right now, unless they can convince me that we going to see a change in this country. And I don't see how they can do that. See?
When you say you don't like what's happening, anything specific that you can tell us?
Charles, I mean, there's a million things. Look at what is happening on the road. Do we have any rights on the road anymore as Caymanians? You can't even leave your house and go like you used to take a 10 or 15 minutes to get from A to B. How long it takes you now to get from Prospect to Georgetown? 1 hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon. We don't even have the freedom of that anymore. And there's so many other things. I mean, we are so lack of enforcement in this country. There's things that has happened that are being totally neglected just because we don't have the Cayman enforcement that care about this country and wants to make it better for their kids and everybody else. It's just not happening. So I'm sorry about that, that's what I feel.
But what's the alternative, though, besides going and voting for someone that you think might just make things different?
I just answer that, Charles, because I don't have any more confidence in who you put in there. They're going to do the same thing. It doesn't matter. We had two good politicians, right? And they wasn't happy until they got rid of them, and that was Arden McLean and Ezard Miller. And guess what happened? They got rid of them two guys, and they was the only two that would stand up and tell you about your backside if you need to tell them about it, and, you know, they stand their ground. But the rest of them, they don't have any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything comes their way, they just accept it and say, look, no, this is not right to this country. I'm not accepting it. And if they would just make a stand, the Caymanian people are behind them because we know what is happening. We know what is wrong. We just need people to get in there with a lot of beef and take this country back and say enough is enough of what is happening. Because look at the way they drive in this country. Look at the way they park in this country. They park how they walk in the side of the road, and it makes no difference. Nobody to say, look, no. You cannot park on the road like that. You cannot park on the sidewalk. The sidewalks are made for people to walk on, not for cars to be parked on. When is all of this rubbish to change? Huh?
When you say they, I mean, who are you talking about?
Charles, you know as well as I do, so as everybody else knows who are doing this country wrong, right? And who doesn't know and who don't want to admit it, they need to come out from under that rock that they're under. See, we have people here, Charles, that we don't need here in this country, and they're only going to become a liability to us eventually. We have our own people to worry about, and when you deprive your own people, right? I mean, look at what happened in the United States, right? The people that came across the border under Biden regime, right? They were living better than the American people. What do you think that I am seeing here as a Caymanian right now? The same thing is going to happen if somebody don't say, look, enough is enough. And why are we building more roads? To get more cars, to bring in more people. Why are we building all of these hotels? To bring in more people, because our government is not standing up and say enough is enough. You're either the hire Caymanians or shop closed. But we just let these people. I mean, look at all of the new hotels that is being built.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going up. A lot of concrete being poured. Well, thank you so much for the call. Listen, I've gone over time because it's after 2 o'clock. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to break in because we have to break away for the news. Thanks for the call. Keep the faith, man.
We are Radio Cayman, covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. Police confirm a water-related death Thursday off South Church Street near Memorial Drive. According to the report, around 10:45 in the morning, a man was snorkeling with a friend when he began experiencing difficulties. Members of the public swam out to assist him and brought him back to shore. Emergency medical services arrived at the scene and paramedics administered CPR before taking the man to the hospital in the ambulance, but he was later pronounced dead by the attending doctor. The 49-year-old man was a cruise passenger visiting from the U.S. In international headlines, strong winds drive an out-of-control wildfire through a remote area of eastern California, prompting evacuations for hundreds of homes. The Silver Fire erupted Sunday along Route 6, northeast of Bishop in Owens Valley. By this morning, it had grown to nearly 2 square miles. That's according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. There was no containment. In Suriname, police have seized a vessel and are continuing their investigations into the disappearance of a fisherman reported missing at sea since last Thursday night. The authorities say the fisherman, identified only by the initials AE and better known as Pang, was among 4 others when the mishap occurred near Double High Bush, close to the mouth of the river that forms the border between French Guiana and Suriname. The 35-year-old captain of the fishing vessel reported the matter to police on Friday, saying that he had been alerted by one of the crew members that Pang was no longer on the vessel. The search so far has proven futile. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Welcome back. Let's go to this phone lines. We've got someone waiting there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
How you doing?
Oh, not bad. Good to hear your voice in the media again, sir.
Thank you. What's on your mind, man?
Mr. Charlo, a lot of things on my mind when it concerns the tariffs and how it's going to affect Cayman and how it's affecting us so far. And then I guess some people might be tempted to do this thing with the price gouging and that sort of thing as well.
You're talking about tariffs that Trump is putting on.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think? People are going to use that for an excuse to gouge customers?
I think so. I think so. Quite possibly. And then they were also saying that to my recollection, Chinese-made ships, they're going to have tariffs against that. And but it sounds like the administration was planning to. It sounds like they're a little sympathetic with us. A lot of us here in the Caribbean. It sounds like we just have to play our cards right, and we'll be fine. At least it sounds so.
Well, maybe if you're going to buy a car, it's time to get it now. Don't wait until next year.
Yes, sir. And it depends on the type of car too, I guess. But well, all that is seems to be scheduled to be more expensive as well, with the steel and aluminum. The tariffs on that, and quite a few other things. So I'm saying now, how do we work around that now as Caymanians? How do we deal with that?
Well, I mean, we import a lot of stuff from the United States, and a lot of the products that they have over there have either parts or the product itself is manufactured overseas. And if it's brought into the States, there's going to be a tariff on it, and they're going to pass it on to the customers. I mean, that's how it goes.
It's intended for the consumers, and then the food.
Well, the consumer always pays, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the call. That's another item on the list to be concerned about. Thank you so much for calling. I have another caller. Okay. You have a good day. All right, we have another caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good things come to those who wait. Man, that was a long wait. Oh my goodness, it is so good to hear you. I did not get to hear the introduction of today's program. Did I miss an introduction of whether you are temping or whether you are here to...
Well, temping in a way, I guess, yeah. Monday, I'm right now I'm scheduled for Monday and Wednesdays.
Okay, they're good days to tune in. And I hope that this is some indication that we're going to get the right government in place.
Oh, I'm a harbinger of a good government. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's such a pleasure to hear you. What a sweet voice. It would be good if we had a segment for all the people who remember your stories and remembered your voice to be able to call in and say how they're reflecting on hearing you and what age they are now and what they remembered you doing. That would be so nice.
Well, thank you so much for that sentiment. Thank you.
Oh,
Warms my heart.
yay. Bye-bye now.
All right, bye-bye. Have a great day. Oh, boy. Taking me back, what? Almost 40 years there with Children's Roundabout and all that. Before we went to the break, I had started talking about the referendums that we're going to be, or referendum, I guess. One referendum with 3 different issues on it. I guess that's how you would put it. And one of them, of course, is the national lottery. I started talking about that. And the important thing to remember about this now is that you got 2 different kind of referendums. You have a binding referendum, which means it must be done, and a non-binding referendum. That means the government can say, okay, we've noted it, we'll think about it, right? They don't have to do it. And the issues that we're going to be deciding on are non-binding, all right? So things can change or they may not if the government doesn't take it up. That was a national lottery one. We also have, of course, one that is real hot. A real hot issue is the cruise ship pairs. Now, boy, you can find 10 people with 10 different opinions, I think, on this. But it's coming down to 2 sides here. Those for it and those against it. You have the environmental impact to consider, because anytime you're going to be building something of that magnitude, you got to be having some impact on the environment. Coral reefs, the coastal waters, the arrival of those mega ships, which is what we're trying to attract, make sure they don't sail past us but make a stop. If that's the idea behind those piers. And that, again, is a yes or no vote, and it is non-binding. So I need to take a closer look at what's being debated about that, because we really need to be informed. That's not such a black and white question. There's a lot of complication behind that. And another one that we will be deciding, of course, is, do you support the decriminalization of the consumption of cannabis, ganja? That is going to be among the issues that's going to be on the referendum list, yes or no. That's exactly what this is talking about. Decriminalization. Quite a mouthful. So removing the criminal penalties for possession of small amounts, but cannabis remains illegal. This is like sort of a catch-22 kind of thing. And what does that mean now? So what law enforcement? How does that change? It says here on the election website, decriminalization means police would not arrest people for possessing small amounts. However, selling or distributing cannabis would be illegal. Okay, how do you get the small amounts? That is still illegal. So I don't know. If you go buy it, is that illegal, or is it just the possession and consumption? But in many aspects, it would save a lot of people, especially young people, from ruining their lives if they get caught with, say, one joint, and then they're they have a criminal record. Here, they wouldn't have a criminal record. Maybe we have something. You said we had a WhatsApp poll. Okay, you could put that through. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Chalo.
How are you doing?
Hello.
How are you doing? Welcome.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. Here you're touching on the referendum thing there. On the referendum question, I always refer to it as a psychological referendum question because exactly what you say. How much is a small amount?
Well, I guess that's going to be set.
Leading to a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the people want that referendum could lead to another referendum. In other words, suppose just say it come back yes for one of these. Just say okay, come back yes for the pair, right?
Right.
So now they got make all the decisions that the people never hear about, and 19 of them or 10 of them got vote on what they want, and the country, suppose the rest of the country not happy with it. So they got an open slate now. Once you say yeah, they got an open slate to do what they want to do, and it shouldn't be that way. It should lead to a referendum. Say, well, okay, we should have we should know where it can be. We should know the environmental study on it, the cost on it. If you agree, we should put in certain things or don't put in certain things. There's a lot of more questions to be answered. So what gonna happen at that point now if they come back? Yes, 10 people gonna vote yes in the parliament, and it gonna go through based on what those 10 people want, and the people that lobbying for it, and the rest of the country don't have nothing to say.
Well,
I don't think that a country should be run like that. It's a psychological thing.
Well, that's what I've been hearing a lot of people say, that the question is just this wide open question, and they want more specifics on what they're voting for.
So I tend to say what's the government hiding? What they don't want to tell us? I mean, they could have come with a proper business plan to put it together. Does that mean by I'm not presenting a business plan, does that mean they don't have none? Or they gonna make it up as they go along? When they get in there, they gonna make it up as they go along, or a lobbyist gonna tell them how to put it together and what to do to benefit them, the lobbyists, or a certain amount of people, rather than benefit the country as a whole. So that this referendum could lead to another referendum, because we got how to vote now a referendum on the decisions that they make on the proper business plan. We would have to vote on, and that go for all three of the questions. So I mean, they should have put something together. I mean, like, they just rush this through for whatever reason, just to say, well, we doing something too. We got rush this through for our supporters, or because it sounds good, it playing good to the voters, or good to a sector of people, and we got push it through to make it sound like we really interested in doing something, which they're interested in doing something, but then it could work against the country at whole. So it's a psychological question, and it should have never been written that way. It should have never went to the state that it became a referendum question, based on my opinion.
You should. So you're saying they should have waited to get some plans in place and then put it before the people?
Yeah, they definitely should have. That would have. I mean, any business would do a thing like that. You can't just say, well, I want to build a house, yes or no.
Yeah.
But then there's still other things that you gotta consider, like what a budget can you afford to build a 2-bedroom house, a 1-bedroom house, where you can build a house. I mean, all of those things are relevant, and we don't know that. So if anybody got a sense, I would come right up on a limb and say, the people must vote no for it. Not only for money. I mean, it got benefit some people, because some people need work. Okay, we understand that, but then it got come at the few, gonna detriment the entire country at a whole. That doesn't make any sense.
All right. Well,
That's
listen.
that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation this afternoon. I have to go to a break. Thank you for the call. Have a good one.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market. The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We have a caller that's been patiently waiting, so let's go straight to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon to you. I'm so sorry I don't know who I'm speaking with because I only just came on about 5 or 10 minutes ago. But
This is Charles Glidden.
Who? Sorry?
Charles Glidden.
Oh, Mr. Glidden. Good afternoon to you, sir.
What's going on?
Not bad, sir. Not bad. Thank you. I just wanted to say I agree with so much of what the last caller said and had no plans of calling, but his thoughts triggered something that really bothered me the other night when I was listening to one of those debates. And as always, it's not about calling people out. So for me, it's really the information that was put out there, and it really bothered me so much. So one of the things that person was saying in the debate, and we're talking one of the candidates, was basically that this referendum was meant to ascertain whether people wanted to be in the cruise business. And I said, that is just so misleading, just so wrong. because it's contrary to what's on the question itself. If that's what the government wanted to find out, then the question should have said, do you want to be in a cruise business? And so just from that, and that's the sort of distortions that we hear so often. There are so many people that will vote no just because there hasn't been, in our assessment, any sort of real truth or clarity that allows for us to make a very informed decision. That gentleman just highlighted it, everything from costs to where it's going. And so they were trying to tie that all in at the very end to say, if the country voted yes, then it would mean doing the EIA and all those kind of things. And I'm here going, just so wrong, just so very wrong. That alone makes me vote no. Just that twisting. When is it that we can just get clear information? If you wanted to know whether we should be in a cruise ship business or not, you should have asked that question. The question is, do you want to build cruise ship piers? And then you're expecting for me to believe that it does not mean Georgetown, downtown Georgetown, when that's the only place that we've ever talked about.
I'm looking at the question now. It doesn't even say piers, which is what most people would probably refer to it. It says, should the Cayman Islands develop cruise berthing infrastructure?
Right, cruise berthing infrastructure.
Which is a more kind of high-level way of putting it.
Yes, exactly, a.k.a. piers, in its most common denominator. That is what bothers me, that lack of clarity more than anything else, because while I'm in support of the cruise tourism industry, I am staunchly against it being in our downtown port, and there are a couple of other places that it could go.
Such as?
And there was other distortions that were made in relation to that question as well. So one would be at a turtle farm. I remember there being, and one of the things that he said when that was brought up was that, I hope I'm not mixing him up with another candidate who was off on a tangent, but he was saying we could lose, for example, the taxi drivers could lose their fares if it was done down at the turtle farm, which is not true as well. So the reverse would happen. They would be going into downtown Georgetown, so we'd be offering tours into downtown Georgetown or dropping you off into town. So it would be the reverse. But the turtle farm, and I remember there being a gentleman on from that organization, is it ACT or something? And not ACT.
Yeah, they're the pro.
Yeah.
The pro pier people.
Yeah, that's right. It is ACT. I was for a minute there mixing it up with ARC, but yes, ACT. There was a gentleman in there, and he didn't care to listen to why I was thinking the turtle farm. He was saying his argument was, well, it's on touchdown there. Why would you want to go and destroy more things? It's quite obvious that either he was being ignorant on purpose, or he was being ignorant on purpose, or he wasn't familiar with his waters. But I know you're originally from West Bay, Mr. Glidden, and off of Turtle Farm, just not very far off, the drop-off happens. So the amount of dredging, but also the amount of destruction would be very, very little. And I'm also thinking about the dive sites that are highlighted around Cayman. There are very few, if any, dive sites that are off of Turtle Farm. They're a little further south, like you're going towards the 7 Mile Beach, and starts closer to Dolphin Point. And that's because of the makeup of that very same deep water. There's nothing to see off of Turtle Farm, And so, yeah, but I don't want to go there. The whole idea is that I just think it's all convoluted and wool is being pulled over our eyes from the very question to all of the details. That's all my thoughts, man. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thanks for the call. You have a good day. Yeah, that's a question that you really have to educate yourself about before you can make a decision on it. That is not a simple yes or no thing that you just can have an opinion on. You need some facts to back up how you feel about it, because that has so many different aspects that you have to take under consideration. And once again, these three questions are on These 3 questions are not binding. Whichever way, if they're approved, if the people say they want to do them, the government will take that under consideration and decide whether to go forward with it or not. Did you say we have a WhatsApp call? Okay. I'm not seeing it though, for some reason. So let's see if I'm supposed to have a WhatsApp message here. So let's see what we have. No, I don't see it. What's it about? Can you? Okay, I don't know. For some reason, I'm not seeing it on my end of the WhatsApp here. Yes, we've actually sorry about that. Apologies to the person who sent that WhatsApp message, but I'm out of time. It's been a very interesting afternoon from my first day back at Radio Cayman. Oh man, back in the trenches here and back in the studio. So thank you so much for making me a part of your lunch break, your afternoon, and I will see you again on Wednesday.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.